Hi, my name is Eric Pletz. I teach physics here at Serra High School and the Science Department Chairman. And I started here in 1989. All right, when students come in as freshmen, they'll take biology their freshman year. Then after their freshman year, they'll take chemistry. There's many choices for chemistry. They could take chemistry in the community, or they could take college prep chemistry or honors chemistry. And then after their sophomore year, they move on to their junior and senior years where they would choose of several electives. And again, if they really liked chemistry as a sophomore, they can take AP chemistry. If they want to be an engineer or just expand their horizons in science, they would take physics, one of those physics courses. They can also take AP biology, and then the other choices are environmental science and one of our newer courses, which is disease, so the study of human physiology and disease and how those two things go together. There are four types of physics classes that students can take at Serra High School. There's college prep physics. The students in this class would study everything from kinematics, dynamics, momentum, collisions, and toward the end of the year they would get into sound, light, electricity, and magnetism. So it's a full survey course. Honors physics is similar topics, but for students who have done a little bit better, they've done very well in their chemistry courses. Then there's two AP classes. There's AP Physics 1, which covers all the topics that the College Board suggests. So it's all of mechanics, and because the College Board has a bit fewer topics, there's actually a bit fewer topics than taking college prep or honors. And then the last one is AP Physics C, which is 2 semesters. The first semester is mechanics, the second semester is electricity and magnetism, and those are meant to replicate a full year, the first year that a engineer or a physics major would take in college. And so students, those AP courses, students will take those for college credit. They take a test at the end of the year to see how much credit they can earn for college. So in physics, we do a lot of labs. We do labs nearly every day. And I think that's something that the students really enjoy. For students who are very hands-on, they get to play with things, build things, test things in their physics classes. So it's not just listening to the teacher and believing the teacher. Students get to see that these things actually work on their own. So they don't have to believe us. In fact, we'd like them to test what we are saying and see if it is true on their own. So it's a very exploratory course. I would say in science, our strengths are definitely our labs. We as teachers, again, we want students to be involved in labs as often as possible, and we want those labs to be very formative. So students learn that in science things can be tested. And once that test is done, they can, retest, and that's the way the world of science works. So we're all like-minded in that respect. We want our students to grow and start to think like a scientist. We're all of us teachers are very tight, and we like brainstorming about new, interesting things for our students to do. We also love the idea of getting equipment and things that students will be able to use and learn and have fun and be able to kind of follow their curiosity a little bit as they pursue all the different sciences. In biology, a lab that I observed the students doing recently was extracting DNA from strawberries. And so they basically just mush them up, and then there are some solutions of alcohol and water and I believe oil, and I'm not the biology teacher, and the DNA will separate out into the oil layer and it will actually connect and create a long chain of DNA that can then be extracted and analyzed, and first perhaps run a DNA gel on that strawberry DNA. In other classes in chemistry, people know that in chemistry we've got exothermic reactions that give off a lot of heat, and just observing some of these different reactions with acids and base and exothermic reactions, I think, is very interesting for students, and things that change color. In physics, again, we're allowed to use our bodies as part of the lab apparatus, so it might be testing your power. So by running up a flight of stairs in a certain amount of time and knowing your body weight, you can calculate how much work you did. And if you know the time, you can calculate how much power you did, and you can then convert that to horsepower and see how many horsepower you're capable of. So when we get to electricity in physics, students are very surprised because electricity is mystifying. It's not, it's kind of an invisible thing that is hiding, especially in metals. So for example, you can store a lot of static electricity in a metal. And so therefore, we'll use a Van de Graaff generator, which was developed just after World War II. And it rubs a piece of rubber on a piece of felt, as simple as that, but yet those extra electrons are rubbed off of the felt and they're brought up to a large aluminum dome at the top. And students can get up to 300,000 volts off of that aluminum dome at the top. I've seen shocks, I've seen the sparks fly up to 1 meter, and this only happened once, but a 3-meter shock. And you might just think of Harry Potter when you think of that one. The other one is the Wimshurst machine, which was invented in the 1840s, and this connects two metals with each other, copper and aluminum, and collects sparks as the aluminum rubs by the aluminum rubs by the copper, one after another, and each of those little sparks are stored up in 2 Leyden jars, one positive, one negative, and it's just waiting for a student to put his finger in the middle or just even to spark through the air. And that's only about 10,000 volts of electricity, but more current than the Van de Graaff generator.